Thank you so much for being here, Tristan. Well, I told you I wanted to interview you, but I didn't tell you why I think you're a badass. And I'm going to do that. Um, so when we first met, I think it was 4 years ago now at San Francisco Fashion Week. Um, it was just a really great experience for me. You're professional, you're thoughtful, you're eloquent, and you showed up at San Francisco Fashion Week, which doesn't get much interest or press. So to have you there and engage in the way that you did was really good. But you took it even further than that. You gave me my first interview in a magazine, and it just gives me validation as a young artist, young in my business, and emerging brand, that somebody is interested in what I have to hear. And not only did you invite me to be interviewed in your magazine, but you also wrote my article in a way that was so authentic for me and my brand. And you really heard what I had to say, and you elevated me in a way that nobody had done for me yet. Nobody quite understood it. So for that, I'm extremely grateful.
Oh my God, that makes me just tickled, chuffed all over. It's
Oh,
it's it's why I do it. And to hear you say it, a lot of times we run into issues where we we ask ourselves, why do I keep doing this?
right.
With all the problems that comes with
Yeah.
running a magazine or a business or whatever it is. And that's why, because to hear you say that just validates it and makes me say, okay, you have to keep going, because you're making a difference in people's lives and in their business, and you're giving them a voice and a platform, which is what I wanted to do. So
You are making, yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to carry that with me. Like it gives me permission to be more confident, as if I would need that, but I do. So thank you. And so I want to just say a little bit. You have a long history in business. You have a strong background in interior design, construction, strategic planning, marketing. You're so well rounded, and you came. How did you end up in Rare Magazine?
I like to see things built from the ground up, whether it's a room or a home or an event, a wedding, a baby shower, all of those things. That's why I went, from design, interior design, to it was really event planning first, then interior design, and then the magazine. Um, and all of those things that I've done have been really because I've had examples from my older brother. He used to own a catering company and asked me to come and work for him. And I really learned how to sharpen my tools and focus on things that were important to the client and give them what they wanted, from him, from working for standing room only. And then my husband is in construction, so he
Ah,
opened
yeah,
he opened his own business, and I managed it. I helped him create a website and do
yeah.
marketing and all of that, and wanted to do something on my own. So then I started doing the little events. So that was sort of like the beginning of the creative for me. I never felt that I was creative, but I
Oh,
love the process. As I get older, I fall into my own sort of rhythm, and I realize you are creative and what
yeah,
you're doing is pretty amazing. And then
yes,
when I hear it from people like you and,
it is.
my team and everybody else, it just gives me that little bit of a push. And then for the publishing, again, I worked for Polo Lifestyles, which was my brother's next endeavor. And it didn't work out. The distance and so many things just was not working out. So I took a little time off, and I thought about it, and I said, I think I could do this, but what would I do it on? What would it be about? And I did a little bit of research, and I figured out, there was no market, there was no magazine out there that I could find that was done beautifully, that would sort of glamorize the hidden gems, such as yourself, such as the gentleman that I interviewed this morning on the live, Damian
Oh
Priestley,
yeah,
this
Damien.
amazing artist, um, and so many others that we have lined up for the rest of the year, and so many before that we've done. Um, I said, this would be amazing to do it in that way where you're really focusing on the undiscovered talent, undiscovered brands. Maybe we're a stepping stone to, the next level, but
Yeah,
it's a community, it's a platform, it's a
yeah.
place for them to come and showcase their work and their products and feel at home, and that it's going to be done in a beautiful way. So,
And it is. I mean, I
and that
love reading your magazine, not just, to read stuff that pertains to me, but the whole magazine is so awesome. The artists that you have on there, the writers that you pick, your team is amazing. Um, externally reading the articles, but also internally and working with some of your team, they're 100%, you know, incredible, all badasses, I have to say. They just show up
absolutely,
really, really well.
absolutely,
And it
absolutely.
shows in the finished product, in the quality of, um, everything from the layout, the photos, um, the people that are selected. It's just a really excellent magazine. I love it. I cannot wait for the next issue.
Thank you. Thank you. We've been having some technical difficulties since I believe it was November. So we have like 3 that are ready to be published, but the platform that we use, we've been
Yeah.
having some issues with.
It's
So it's
always something.
it's a struggle.
Always
And
something.
and then always, 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 always. But
I know, but
when
knowing you're just going to push through, and it's going to get better and better. I've loved watching your process. That's another reason why I think you're such a badass. Like, you take it in stride, you look for solutions, basically, always looking for the solution to get to the next goal, the next deadline, the next opportunity. And it makes working with you, such an immense joy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
That is
Good.
my motto. It's like, okay, problem, what is the solution? What is the
Yeah.
solution? What is the solution?
It
Because
shows.
there's always a solution.
Did you always know you wanted to do something like this? I know you went through, kind of ebb and flow, but you're really elevating people. I mean, in a really special and unique way. Did you ever know that you were that person?
Um, I think ever since I was a kid, I always knew that I was definitely a people person.
Ah,
Definitely,
sure.
love everyone. I want everybody to be involved. I want,
Yes.
the diversity of the different groups and the different, always you're welcome, come,
Yeah.
that was always me since I was a kid. But was it going to be publishing or design or anything creative? Like,
Yeah.
I would have never thought, like, I wanted to be a lawyer. Yeah.
So what's your goal with Rare Magazine?
My goal is to really make it a staple, to really make it a staple. Eventually, I would like to obviously continue making it better, getting it to the point where it's lucrative.
Mm-hmm.
Um, right now, we're
Yeah.
just taking subscriptions to kind of, keep us going. And like you said, everything is a struggle. It's not easy. You have to give people value. And we think that by featuring people such as yourself and all the others, it is valuable because
Yes, it
it's
is.
tapping into a market that, it's not Target that you're going into and finding the
Yeah.
same thing in different
That's right.
25 different colors.
Yeah.
They're very specific talents
Mhm.
that people have, and a specific brands that they're developing, and for specific products that they're um, selling. My goal is to take it to that next level where everything is like domino, it just falls into place beautifully, and
What would you like to imagine for your company?
a store staple somewhere in the world, or maybe 2 or 3 eventually,
Yeah.
um where we sell some of the products of,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know
Oh, that's great.
but starting out maybe
Interesting, yeah.
in the next 2 years, maybe doing more pop-ups
Oh, that's a
all
good
over,
idea. Yeah,
sell and do
that's right in
something over.
alignment with your skill set. It's like, you know, your layers of experience is culminating. That's
Yeah.
very interesting. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited for you.
And then eventually some sort of some products that
Yeah,
are helpful to impoverished communities,
yeah,
women, younger children, to give them, the things that they don't
yeah.
necessarily currently have.
I want to know what inspires you.
You people like you.
Well, thank
It
you.
really is. No, it
Yeah,
really
the
is.
people.
We spoke to a gentleman this morning. He makes these really amazing hats.
Yeah,
He makes them to order, and they are just absolutely beautiful. He uses wood, he uses all, it's just stunning to me.
yeah,
And we scope them out, we find them, we interview them, we talk to them to let them know what we're doing, because people can be very skeptical when you call and say, hey, we want to give you all this stuff, and they're like,
that's
wait a
right.
minute, what,
That's right.
why? you know
That's right.
that's
Yeah.
the kind of world we live in now.
Yes.
So I feel that, our approach is very organic, and we make sure that people understand that this is everything that we're doing for you, black and white. We don't need anything else, we don't need a credit card or
Right.
anything like that. This
Right.
is what it is.
Yeah.
And it puts people at ease, and the 99.9% of people are very open to it and love it. So that inspires me. The people that we feature are the ones that truly inspire me.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Of
And thank you for
course.
recognizing us and allowing yourself to be inspired, you know? I
Absolutely.
appreciate that. Yeah.
I remember when we had our talk. Remember when we were, I was like, I have to reach out to her. Like, this would be amazing if we did this. We talked about it when we met 4 years
Yes, we
ago, but
did.
things don't always happen exactly the way you want them to. And
Timing is weird. Timing is
exactly,
relative.
it is. It
It's
really is.
it's such an odd thing. And
And
when the
and it
time is right.
and it was the perfect time when, wasn't it?
Yes. For
And I
me, it
said,
was
what do you
definitely.
think about the mask? Do you think? And then you're like, oh my God, say no more. And literally 2 weeks later, I was like, jaw
Yeah.
dropped, tears falling down my face. It was just
Thank
so
you.
beautiful and so,
Yeah.
you know, planned to a T. And those are the things that really inspire me.
Yeah. So let's talk business for a second. And you're really well-rounded in business. What do you think are like the top few tools?
I would say for sure, let's see, my computer for sure. I couldn't do any of this without my computer, my laptop.
Yeah.
For sure. My team, we have
Supportive.
writers and contributors globally that we find through many different resources, but
Yeah.
that are happy to write for the magazine as well. And they say that they feel we give them the freedom to write what they want. We don't really, we give them the theme, and then we say, okay, here's Lisa Jones from Throckmorton Jones. Matthew, I want you to write the article, and then he just takes care of it. When he sends the article, I read it. I would say from 2.5 years, there was one article that I read that I had to send back and say, you know what, this is, and it wasn't even the consistency,
That's
it
really
was the
amazing.
length. It
That's
was the
really
length.
amazing. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's
That's
always
pretty.
been really good content.
Well, you know what that says to me is that you're really clear about your vision and your direction. You've
Yeah.
created, given it the vision and the breadth, and people can understand that well enough, or really well, actually, in order to carry that for you.
Yeah.
That's badass boss lady business right there.
And that's my
Really,
team, like the people that write the content. Obviously there
yeah,
would be no magazine if there's no writers
right.
to approach it the way that they do. So I'm very, very grateful for them, and not just the writers, but also the back end. We have amazing people that are doing such great work. Our social media team, who is absolutely just on fire and are
Stunning.
really taking us to that next level.
Mhm.
The social hour,
Mhm.
and then my back office team, the people that help finish put the magazine together. Our operations manager, who we hired back in, I think it was October, or September maybe, who's helped me organize and given me so many different tools to organize everything, creating calendars and just really putting it in front of you and seeing what you're doing,
Yeah.
how you're doing it, you know, um, the computer, the team, those two things for sure.
Mhm.
And then the third thing I think is you have to not only stay true to what your goal and focus is, you have to know what that is
Mm.
in order for you to keep going.
Good, yeah.
Um, you know,
Your
and for
why.
me, it's about providing that platform
Yeah.
to the people that don't get to be in a magazine glamorously because they're not well known enough, or they haven't made it to that certain stage yet.
Yeah.
So those
Yes.
are
Those are great tips. Yeah. Know your goals. That's actually a really good one. Team and your computer, which is obviously, I think most of us need to have a computer, but especially for publishing online.
yeah, it kind of wouldn't work
Right.
unless
It
I'm just
wouldn't.
standing on the side of the road with like big pieces of
Yeah, no,
paper,
no.
cardboard,
But
just going.
imagine the cost. I mean, if you were going to actually, even if it was 10 years ago, imagine the costs to publish a magazine like you're doing. I mean, full bleeds, beautiful editorial, complex layouts. It would be extreme. Like you wouldn't be able to provide a platform like that without it being, a
Exorbitant,
half a million dollars
absolutely.
in. And
And
so, yeah, we've come a
we
long
shave,
way.
yeah, we shave off a lot of the cost because, you know, I put the magazine together.
Yeah,
um the
beautifully.
the writers that we have are, you know, do it complimentary
Yeah,
because they believe in the project.
yeah,
And everybody involved is so, they believe in what we're doing so much that they're willing to offer a lot of their time
yeah,
at, deep discounts.
yeah.
And they know that once we get to that next
Get it
level,
off the
okay, our goal
ground.
is exactly,
Yeah,
we're trying to reach a certain amount of subscribers so that we know that, our members are our, how do you say, the foundation is set, and these
yep.
people are there and they're loyal and they're here to stay and they love what we're doing. So it takes a while. Like, I've read so many stories about, you know magazines that I've followed all my life that I love, and heard their stories. And at the time that they were doing it, there was no digital, there was no phone, there was
Right.
no. So we have a
Print,
lot of, we have
everything. Yeah,
so many resources.
yeah,
Social media is such a great one, hints,
yep. Yeah,
so yeah.
yeah. I'm so excited. It's nice to see a new frontier of something I really like and want to read. So I'm really excited. Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you the toughest last question of all. Um, how do you think you're a badass boss lady?
Ooh,
Yeah,
in the beginning I was afraid to make mistakes. You just have to kind of accept it and let it go, and not waste time. That's probably the best, way that I think that I am becoming a badass boss lady
oh
is,
no, girl,
how
you
can I
are a badass
how can
boss
I be
lady.
better?
You
How can I
are
be
a badass
better?
boss lady. You're definitely giving so much of yourself to so many people. And I can see that also building something for yourself in the future that's going to be really awesome. And I love that about you.
Thank you. Thank you. That
Yeah.
means so much, especially at this moment. It means so very much. And I am so grateful for you. Not only that we met and that we're now friends, and you know, we're working to build each other up and elevate
Yeah.
each other. And um, I hope it continues forever.
Yeah, me too. And I can't wait
Mhm.
until we can get together and have margaritas by the pool.